All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kodash, and double honors to the elder and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And salutation to all the Akim out there that's preaching his word in sincerity and in truth. And today I'm just going to get into a lesson on how the Lord is going to be with his elect men, to the very end. Not one member of the Lord's elect are going to fall during these times of Jacob trouble that's coming to the planet Earth. During the time of martial law, during the time of all hell breaking loose on the earth, And I'm going to bring out some accounts where men of the Lord in the ancient times were put in positions of difficulty, and the Lord always had a way for them to escape whatever they were going through, And this is the first scripture. This is Revelations 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. 3 days and a half is roughly talking about 350 years. Us in slavery to the time of, I would say, 1970, when Abba Vivens came on the scene, which would be Elijah the prophet in the reincarnation, bringing us back to this knowledge. It says, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. So that the spirit of the Most High entered into us. We got this word back, we got who we were. We're not African Americans, we're not Negroes, we're not Mexicans, we're not Puerto Ricans, we're not Cubans, we're Israelites. Yasher Allah in the Hebrew, meaning Prince of the Power, It says the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them and they stood upon their feet. So pretty much we were in a dead state mentally. We didn't know who we were as the people, but now we're awakening back to who we are. So we're standing upon our feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's talking about these elites that seen us come back to who we are as a people. Because they spend billions upon billions of dollars to keep us from knowing who we are as a people. To keep our nation going off and sinning against the Most High, So they can continue to rule over us. Because knowing the scriptures, anytime you would go against the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, and commandments, He would always raise up another nation to rule over us. That's what the whole book of Judges is about. Israel would go off and the Most High would raise up another nation to jack us up, and then we would cry to the Lord, then He would raise up a judge to deliver us, But the elites, they know the program, they know the way this earth works. So their whole goal is to keep Israel going off. But great fear is coming upon them because they seeing the body of Yahawashi be reawakened, They seeing the members of the elect come back to who we are as a people and standing in great boldness. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So that's what the men of the Lord are doing, standing in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, going out to the highways and the byways and pushing His word out, All the camps you see throughout the four corners of the earth. You got camps in Africa, camps in Brazil, Great fear is coming upon these elites because they know that our uprising is their downfall. The uprising of the nation of Israel is the downfall of the Edomites and all the other heathen nations. It says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So us coming back to who we are is their downfall. Pursuing the Revelations, the 7th chapter, when the Lord said to the four archangels, hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So the men of the Lord are being sealed. So guess what? The Lord is actually letting loose that destruction. And these elites, they know. It says, let me go back. This is Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. So these elites are terrified. They know what's coming to them. Slavery, hell, they have to be paid back for all their iniquity on the planet Earth. So they're terrified. So what are they going to do? They're coming with great wrath in these last days. They're really coming for the men of the Lord. They want to take our lives off the earth, This is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So the day that we're approaching, the day of the Lord, there's never been a time like this on the earth, and there never will be a time like this after this time, This is going to be the most devastating destruction that this earth has ever seen. It's called Jacob's trouble. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So we enter into a time where these elites want to physically take us out as a nation. They're going to be coming with martial law. They're going to have drones in the hoods blowing niggas away. You know, it's going to be race wars out here, food riots. People are going to be starving to death. You know, it's going to get real. It's going to get real out here. You know, it says it is even time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And the people that are going to be saved out of it is talking about the Lord's elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 that the Lord is going to protect through all this. Like I started off the lesson with, the Lord is going to have a way for his men to get through all of these things, you know, because it's prophesied that 144,000 men, 12,000 men out of each tribe are going to be sealed with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of this truth and receive salvation. Some men are going to have to be martyrs for this truth, pursuing the Revelation, the 20th chapter. But the scriptures say the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first. So if you have to die for this truth, you're going to be the first ones to be risen up with the Lord in the chariots, you know. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Woe meaning destruction. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he had but a short time. So Esau, the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of, is coming with great wrath because he knows, pursuing the Revelation 11:11, when it reads great fear fell upon him, he knows what his judgment is. He's going into slavery, you know. He's going to have to serve out a 1,000-year sentence of hardcore, brutal slavery, you know. And he's seeing the men of the Lord be risen up, and he knows his judgment is coming. So he's saying, fuck it, if I got to give up my kingdom, I'm just going to go all the way out. I'm going to try to take everybody out. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he had but a short time. So this so-called white man, these Edomites, and I'm speaking about the top elites that run this planet Earth, pursuing the book of Job 9:24, when it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. These everyday Joe six-pack crackers you see on the street, they don't know what's going on. You know, they pretty much are clueless to the fact of what's going on. I'm talking about really the elect of the wicked, you know, because you have an elect of the righteous, which are the Heavenly Father's chosen, the first spirits created, and then you have the elect of the wicked, which are what? The top members of the nation of Edom, which are what? The elites that run this planet Earth, that's ran this planet Earth to the brink of destruction. You know, that's why the scriptures say shit has destroyed them which destroy the earth, because that's what these elites have done. They brought this earth to the brink of total destruction. You know, this is so pretty much they gonna come with great wrath. Men of the Lord are gonna have to be tried. You know, you may be brought before kings and rulers for the name of Yahawashi's sake. I'm gonna get some accounts to where Israel, our nation, was being faced with danger, you know, and the Lord always had showed us that he was with us, you know. This is 2 Kings 6:11. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in the bedchamber, because he's pretty much going to make war with Israel. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore send he thither horses and chariots and great hosts, and came by night and compassed the city. Like we read in Revelation 12:12, the devil come down unto you having great wrath, because he know he had but a short time. This is talking about the ancient times. And in modern day times, Esau is going to compass the city with what? Via the martial law troops, the FEMA troops, the Gurkha troops, you know. It says, therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and great hosts, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Yahawah was risen early and gone forth, behold, the host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So his servant was like, master, what are we going to do? They're surrounding the cities, you know. And that's pretty much what's going to take place in these times. Esau going to be surrounding your home. They might have the FEMA troops surrounding your home, you know. They got you on a microphone. Come out with your hands up, you know. You might be faced with with a situation like that, but what are you to do? You know, this is he said, what are we to do? And this is what Elisha said, and he answered, fear not. So what are you to do? You're not to fear, because you supposed to have the faith and believe that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is with you, you know, no matter what you go through, you know. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So you got to remember these scriptures that have it come into your mind. There's more angels with us than there are with the wicked, you know. Because you got angels, the scriptures say the angels of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him. So you got angels around us right now as we speak. Angels in the fourth dimension, chariots in the fourth dimension watching over you, you know. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. So Elisha could see. So he prayed to the Lord to open his servant's eyes. Lord, open his eyes so he can see what I see, you know. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So the Lord pretty much gave him that vision to see into the spiritual world. And he seen all the host of heaven that was on Elisha's side, you know. So that's the same thing we're reading. It's the same thing in today's times. The angels of the Lord are all around us. The chariots are with us. So whatever position you put in, just believe in that. You know, the Lord is going to have a way for you to get through it, you know. It says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So Elisha had that faith. And the Lord used that spiritual power to blind the armies, you know. Matter of fact, because that's a perfect example of what we're going to have to be dealing with in these times. I'm going to get this. This is Isaiah 59:19, because Esau is going to come with great wrath on the men of the Lord. Because this whole goal, like we read, their great fear fell upon them. They're scared. Then they're terrified because they know the judgment coming. So they're going to try to really wipe us out. They coming with martial law, FEMA troops. And really, they're going to really coming for our lives. It says, Isaiah 59:19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So when Esau comes with great wrath, when he comes with his destruction, you know, when he comes to try to take our lives, it says when the enemy shall come in like a flood, because he's going to come in like a flood, all types of troops, you know. Just like I read in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, it says, 2 Kings 6:15, and when the servant of the man of Yahawah was risen early and gone forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, my master, how shall we do? So that the enemy came in like a flood. It said, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. So they compassed the city. They had horses and chariots ready for war. And he said, Master, how shall we do? Then you read the next verse. It says, and he said, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And the next verse, we read that he opened his eyes up and he seen all the hosts. So going back to Isaiah 59:19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. So we fear the name of the Lord, you know, from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. So when Esau makes his move, what does the scripture say? It says the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, and that standard is spiritual power. The same way the Lord lifted up a standard against them in that time. What did Elisha do? He used spiritual power to smite them with blindness, you know. So if that happened in the past, matter of fact, I'm gonna get this. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is repeated, you know. Everything pretty much reincarnates, pretty much comes back. And the same thing even with situations, you know, different scenarios. The same way the Lord delivered Elisha and his servant, you know, giving him that power to smite the men with blindness, you know. The same thing is going to happen when Esau comes in with a flood in this time, you know. The Lord is going to give his men spiritual power, you know, to actually come against this devil. And the Lord might have an angel just deliver you. Who knows? The Lord does things in a spectacular way. The Lord likes to show off. That's how he likes to show out, just so you can glorify him, you know? So things are going to be happening on the planet Earth that are out of this world, that are what they call science fiction, or what the world calls Hollywood shit, you know, shit you only see in the movies. He's going to have strange things happen, strange apparitions, things that you've never seen in reality happen to what? To glorify him, you know? This is Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and deliver them. So the angels of the Lord are only going to encamp around what? The men of the Lord that fear him. You know, the scriptures say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, you know. So the men of the Lord that fear Yahawah Yahawashi, what? He said, the angels of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So he gonna deliver you, you know, if you can continue to fear him and believe in him, you know. That's why in Isaiah 59:19 it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun. Pretty much the scripture is telling you that you gotta fear the name of the Lord, you know. The servants of Yahawah are gonna fear the name, you know, and fear Yahawah, you know. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahawashi shall lift up a standard against him. You know? This is Revelations 2:10. Fear none, that's another thing. There goes fear. The Lord is telling you, do not fear. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So don't be afraid. I mean, trust me, it ain't like you just gonna walk into this thing like Superman, you know, bullets bouncing off your chest. Of course, that fear might come upon you, but you gotta cast that off, you know? You got to cast that off and go refer back to these scriptures, you know, because scriptures say the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning, you know. So we got to take these stories and these examples in the scriptures and know that if the Lord defended his men in these times, you better believe he's going to do it in this time, but on a way higher level, you know, because we in a time to where Esau's technology is on the highest level, you know. We're in a time to where knowledge is increased on the highest level. So how much more the spiritual things, you know? How much more the miracles? How much more Yahawah Yahawashi showing this earth is true glory, you know? The Lord finna show out. You're going to have men of the Lord flying in the air. Hey, you can't say it didn't happen. Hey, the Lord's son walked on water. The Lord's son fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread. You're going to have miracles happening on earth. The Lord finna show out on this earth to glorify his name. What power is doing this? Yahawah Yahawashi is doing this, you know? It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So some of us are going to have to be locked up, going to them concentration camps. Some of us may be tortured. Some of us may be beheaded, you know. But you got to keep your faith and don't fear. And if you got to go through that, the Lord, Yahawah Yahawashi, is going to put the spirit on you heavily to deal with it, you know. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. So this is a trial of your faith. Are you going to believe in Yahawah Yahawashi, or are you just going to give up? Because ultimately, the final test is that RFID microchip. Because Esau's goal is to chip everybody on the planet Earth with an RFID microchip, pursuant to the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16. You know? So he's going to come at you with that chip. You're going to be faced with the chip or death. You got to keep your faith, even if it's unto death. You know? And ye shall have tribulations 10 days. 10 days just mean a complete time you're going to be in there. It could be 10 days. It could be a week, 2 weeks, months. However the Lord, whatever your tribulation or whatever the Lord wants to put you through. It says, be thou faithful unto death. So keep your faith even unto death. Even if you got to die for this truth. Because we ain't living in this world. What you living for? What you living for? For what? To be under the wicked. If you die, that's a blessing. You're going to be right with the Lord in the chariots. You know? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So keep your faith even unto death. And the Lord said he's going to give you a crown of life. Because certain men are going to be martyrs for this truth. But then again, like I read in Isaiah 59, certain men are going to be defending the men of the Lord in this thing, you know? Because certain men are going to get power. And the Lord said it. And just like it happened in the ancient time, it's going to happen again. Because whenever we was reading about Elisha was Elijah's understudy. And when Elijah was taken up and beamed up in the chariot, because he was translated, He said, before you leave, I pray that a double portion of your spirit be put upon me. And Elijah had a heavy spirit. He had spiritual power, you know. He was able to call fire down from heaven, you know. So the same way that he had that power, Elisha had that power, you know. And I'm going to get into this, probably ended on this, just an example on how if we got to go into prison, keep the faith, because things like this are going to happen. This is Acts 12:1. It says, now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. So just like this happened in the time of the Acts of the Apostles, where they were having to be put to death for what they believed in, you better believe it's going to be a time like this in the time we living in now, where they're going to really come for us, you know. Your faith is going to be tested on the highest level, but you got to believe and trust in Yahawashi, you know. Because, hey, it says James, the brother of John, he had to be a martyr for the truth. He was killed with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, so it was our own wicked-ass people coming against us to put us to death. So 2/3 of you niggas, hey, the blood is on your hand. You're going to have to be paid back for a lot of the things you did in the past, like having the prophets put to death, hell, having the Lord, your Lord, Yahawashi put to death, you know? That's why when he was put on the cross, he said, let his blood be upon us and our children. So you niggas got a lot to pay for. It says, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. So he proceeded, look, okay, it pleases him. I killed James. Well, I'm going to go after Peter next, you know. I'm going to take them all out, you know. It says, then were the days of unleavened bread, and when he apprehended him, he put him in prison. So he apprehended him and put him in prison. So, hey, look, if Peter had to be put in prison, you better believe we gonna be put in prison, you know? And delivered him to 4 quintorians of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter. Well, the real word there is supposed to be the Passover, you know? They added that word Easter in there because Easter is not in the scriptures. It's the word there in the Hebrew is the Pesach. It says, intending after the Pesach to bring him forth to the people. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. So they prayed without ceasing to the Lord. Look, Lord, deliver him, you know. And that's why prayer is very important too. Pray for the brethren in the Akim to be protected, you know. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers. So pretty much Herod was going to bring him forth really to put him to death. It said the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with chains. So he had chains on him, bound. And the keepers before the door kept the prisons. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him. So the angel of the Lord intervened. And you better believe, if we reading this and it happened in the past time, during the time of the Acts, you better believe it's going to happen in this time, you know. Men might be locked up. The Lord sent an angel down to deliver you, you know. A man just appear out of nowhere, dressed in all white that you never seen before, deliver you. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side. So these angels of the Lord are rough. He smote him on the side, like, get up, Peter. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. So pretty much the angel just used spiritual power and the chains just fell right off. It says, and the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind, it says, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. So the angel like, get up, gird thyself, put your sandals on, let's go. Move in haste. And he said unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. So put your garment on and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. He thought it was a vision. He's getting up out of sleep like, damn, what's going on, you know? And when they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them his own. It says of his own accord, which opened to them on his own accord. So that gate just pretty much opened, you know. The angel used spiritual power. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. So pretty much that's the point I'm getting to. Trust in the Lord, because no matter what you're going through, whatever trial and tribulation you got to go through in these last days, the Lord is going to have a way for you to get through it, and the Lord has that host of angels around you to deliver you, the ones that fear him. And I'm going to just end it off with, I read it, but I'm going to end it off with this again. This is Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start up. Psalms 34:6. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. And that's what we're doing. We're crying to the Lord to deliver us. And if we get put in these situations, you got to cry out to the Lord. You can't forsake the Lord. You can't get weak, get tired, get faint-hearted. You got to cry unto the Lord. Whatever trials and tribulations you're going through, The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom.